Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. Welcome to the message, y'all. Welcome to the message. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Happy, hold on, Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We in this thing. We in this thing. If you are new to Spirit, you welcome. We are so happy and so grateful that you were here. And if you was an OG, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for your continued support. You know what to do, Ski Come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance and sip your favorite adult beverage. Okay, we in this thing, y'all. We still in the book of Esther. This morning. I told y'all yesterday that the Lord ended up sending me to the book of Esther, and I actually was in Esther 2 this morning. I'm going to try probably read through the whole thing before I end up going, which I've read it before, of course, but before I end up moving somewhere else. But can we just talk about the favor? Drop this in the chat and mean it when you drop this in the chat. I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm blessed and highly favored. And I'm going to tell y'all what the Lord was talking to me about, some of the things I wrote, the revelationals that I got when I was reading Esther 2 this morning. Jared says, great morning, everyone. I'm grateful that God is still working, even if I don't see it. Indeed and amen. We know that God is always working behind the scenes. Side note, Jared, this is funny, but how about you came up? You were actually in the car that I pulled for myself. This car was at the bottom of the deck. For those of you who don't know, the Clarity Tarot deck is very personal for me. And so you ended up at the bottom of the deck today. And whenever I pull my card for myself, I'll get a card, and then whatever card is at the bottom of the deck gives the clarity part of the message. So shout out to Jared, who is currently on the Eight of Wands in the Clarity Tarot deck. So just wanted to show you that, because what? You showed up this morning. So thank you for your continued support. Hunty, Onty, love you. Yeah, y'all, I have an updated Clarity Tarot deck that is coming. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. So all to do it, let's get to it. Y'all like the live, share the love. Let's talk about favor, right? Because that's what the Lord was talking to me about this morning. The favor is real. So as I was reading through Esther 2 this morning, it was literally the title of it is Esther Finds Favor, right? Good morning, Pam. Good morning. Esther Finds Favor. So I'm just reading through, and of course I've read this before, but can we just talk about how Esther was favored at every part of her experience? It wasn't just when she got the crown, it wasn't just, after that, it was at every step of what she was doing. The Lord was he favored her. She was favored in the preparation. She was favored when she was still waiting. Before she even met the king, she found favor. After she met the king, of course, this is going further into it, but she was favored before she became queen. So I was like, dang, Lord. And he said there's favor in the preparation too. Sometimes we just think it's supposed to be, oh, when I finally get the thing, that's what the Lord is going to bless. That's where the favor is going to come. The Lord was like, I'm favoring you at every step. And I say, you know what, Lord, you was right. You was right. Because you're definitely favored at every step. Esther was blessed before what we consider the blessing. Before she was made queen, before she even met the king, she was favored. In her preparation, she was favored. She was provided maids. She was provided better living quarters than the other people. So we have to understand as well, y'all, that because you're favored right now, even if you don't understand it, something the Lord was talking to me about in prayer this morning was how most people don't know what what your struggle was, right? Most people don't know. It's like people, and the Lord was talking to me a bit about this, because yesterday he ended up explaining some things where there's like, for some of you, you're getting ready, if you're not already, going through a stage where you ain't even gonna know why people don't like you. And I said this yesterday, but the Lord always gives more clarity, right? People ain't even gonna know why they don't like you. They just not gonna like you, and it's because they can see favor on you, and it's favor that they desire. they're envious of. And so even though we don't read about this in the Bible, just because we know the nature of people, whenever you have blessings, whenever people can see that you're abundant, many of you, because people can see the level of confidence that you have. Remember, y'all, we went through battles to be as confident in ourselves as we are. And it's not arrogance, it's because we are confident in the Lord, right? So your confidence shows up to other people will mistake it as arrogance, but it's just like, no, I finally know who I am in Christ, right? So we can assume, we don't know for sure because it doesn't tell us, that there were probably people who were in this little harem like, oh, well, why her and not me? Because God favors her. Can we drop that in the chat? God favors me. So in the preparation, she was favored, she was provided for, she had people that were serving under her. Everything surrounding her was blessed as well. Good morning, Sandy. Mordecai was blessed and he as an attendant in the king's court. And again, y'all, this is only from, I think I read Esther 2:8 through 16, and that was as far as I got. Even everything, we hear that song, shout out to Kaylin Carr, everything attached to me wins. Even Mordecai, the Lord had positioned Mordecai to be favored so that he could make sure that he was present when Esther needed him. So do you understand that this is why the importance of having the right people around you as well, the people that you're listening to, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, because the favor is not just for you. Mordecai was favored, and then Esther became favored. Esther became favored, and then Mordecai was favored even more. So for many of us, y'all, this is the importance of having the right people around you, because if you got them snakes, the Lord gave me a message yesterday about snakes, y'all. Let me see where I have it written down. Hold on. He told me something about snakes yesterday. Where did I write it? Oh, snakes eventually show themselves. So for some of you, there's going to be some snakes that are going to reveal themselves. Thank y'all. Can I also just tell y'all that for many of you, you sometimes you don't know a snake is a snake until it reveals itself. Man, the Lord will start to show you, y'all. And again, many of us, we will go through things where let me just speak on self. I'm the type of person that I don't take anybody's word for what you tell, for how somebody is. I allow you to show yourself to me, because I'm not the person influenced to form an opinion about somebody. But once I see you, drop that in the chat. Once I see you, that's it. I can't unsee you. I allow you to show yourself to me. And then once you show me who you are, then we move and we act accordingly, right? So for some of you, there's some snakes in the grass that the Lord is getting ready to reveal to you. So just be prepared for that. Okay. Just be prepared for that. Once you show me who you are, I move differently with you. Okay. Because once I see you, ain't no unseeing, and you can't come back and try to be a different person. The Lord had me watching something yesterday, y'all, talking about spiritual gifts and awakenings and just different things that you experience. This is discernment, right? And if you pray for discernment, the Lord will give it to you. So when people show you who they are, moral of that story, believe them. Okay, you have to believe them. Snakes will eventually reveal themselves, even if they're camouflaged at first. Eventually they gotta move. Eventually they gotta move. Anyway, moving on from that. So the understanding that as you're continuing to be favored, right? As the Lord is continuing to give you things, y'all. Side note, somebody kill it. Y'all, there's one little gnat. Come on, monitoring spirits. There's one little gnat. I kid y'all not. There's one gnat in my house that I cannot get rid of. And he driving me nuts. Anyway, one little gnat getting on my nervous system. Anyway, I'm back. So, and then if it do, it'd be one little gnat at work too. Just one. Can't get rid of them anyway. Don't be judging me. If you new to the community, welcome. We're so happy and so grateful that you were here. So as you're continuing to be favored by God, right, you're gonna have the snakes are gonna be revealed. but pushing them aside because we ain't got time to worry about a hater, right? We ain't got time to worry about the snakes in the grass. We just want to make sure that we recognize the snakes before we get bit, okay? But once you moving past that, everything attached to you, surrounding you, the people who, as you are being blessed, the people around you are going to be blessed as well. Um, Next, the other thing the Lord said, and I almost named this, I won't call this message this, but I ended up saying something else. Name it. Name it. Name what you're building, define it to make it more real for you. So the Lord has been different things, y'all, as you know, the Lord is helping us to create and move forward the new things that we're doing, right? The Lord is like, put a name to it because it's going to make it more real for you. So just this morning, and I wrote it the other day, and then I ended up writing it again today. So as an example of this, right? ToShae Germaine as a brand is a faith-based lifestyle brand, right? So that's who ToShae Germaine is. That's what all my products are. It's a faith-based lifestyle brand. And so I saw that, and I was flipping through my journal and I happened to see that, and then I heard the Lord say, name it. And so for some of you, there's something that you're going to be, it's like when you start naming something, y'all, it's like you're making it more real. It's making it more tangible for you. I hope that makes sense. So for some of you, if you're building something, we're going from abstract to definitive, right? We're going from just taking a jumble of ideas to narrowing something, saying, okay, this is what this is. So for me, I did this several days ago, but didn't understand why the Lord was showing me that, because we're putting actual definition to the things that we're building. So I hope that makes sense for somebody. Put a name and then help it build and to help it become more real for you. Next, you have help. Drop that in the chat. I got help. Okay. I got both physical and spiritual. And so the Lord this was still, it's like sometimes y'all, I be in the middle of writing one thing and then the Lord will give me something else. So that name, it kind of came in the middle of me studying the book of Esther. But the Lord was talking about positioning and how for many of you, there are new people who are getting ready to start coming into your life. The mentors that you need, the assistance that you need, who you need to learn from. Remember, as you elevate, it's not that you outgrow a teacher or a mentor, but you need different mentors for different things. So and for some of you, this may be someone who maybe you kind of dabbled in looking into what they were doing before, but then it comes back and it's going to be undeniable because you're this person. It's almost like, remember y'all, I talked about this, I think last week. Pay attention to the people who keep showing up, the people who you keep seeing on your news feed, on your timelines, on your social media. And this is not negative stuff. This is people who you can actually learn from. And so for me, something it was just like weird and random yesterday. Somebody randomly popped up on my Facebook and I was like, huh, okay. It was kind of out of nowhere. So it prompted me to be like, because Lord, bring to me, show me what I need, show me the resource that I need in order for this next step. Where do I need to learn from? Because we have to learn, y'all. You're not gonna know everything, so you have to learn. So you have to be teachable. And so I was like, Lord, where do I need to learn from? And this is somebody, and this me. Lord, don't send me nobody that ain't gonna understand that my gift is a little different, my calling, my assignment is a little different. Because a lot of times, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. A lot of times, because your gift don't fit into a particular box, people will try to tell you that, oh, because of this, or because oh, you ain't hearing from God. I done been through all this. I don't care about none of this. But because my gift and my calling and my assignment may be a little bit different, right? I may not fit over here in the religiosity box. Thank God for God. I don't want to be in the box, right? So for some of you, it's like the Lord is going to send you people who, even if they don't completely understand it, they're not going to be able to deny your gift, right? They're not going to be able to deny God is using you in the way that God is using you, even if it looks different from the traditional. So Lord, send me people who ain't gonna try to. I ain't got time for you to try to because what people would do would try to convince you that your gift ain't your gift. I don't need those kind of teachers, right? Because who am I? This is what God has given me to work with. So if it's those kind of teachers, I'm good. So me, as I'm receiving this, the Lord's like, right there. So the Lord is getting ready to point you in the direction of people who you don't have to explain your gift. You don't have to explain yourself. Your gift is going to speak for you. Your gifts will make room for you, right? So your gift is going to speak for you. So pay attention to who the Lord is showing you, so that when you it's time for you to make that pivot and make you find that and find that make a move, you'll know where to go. I hope that makes sense. So God has positioned your assistants, just like he positioned Mordecai long before Esther got there. The Lord has positioned people for us to learn from. So as we're stepping into the next part of our assignment, right? Just call me blessed. Spiritual gifts, my sheep know my voice, creating abundance and hearing from God. There's something about, oh, last thing, and then we're going to get into the clarity. Rainbows may be important. For some of you, I ended up seeing like 2 rainbows this morning. So their rainbows may be significant. Get ready for movement, but it does feel like there's a pause, y'all. It feels like there's a pause before things really begin to pick up, right? Something very quick moving is coming in, and this came as a result of the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, back to back to back. So for many of you, you're getting ready to start moving really, really quickly. 66 as well, which we ended up getting yesterday. Thank you for the confirmation, Lord. Things are getting ready to transform and start moving quickly. And then the Lord pointed out, I don't be knowing rainbows. Quick moving rainbows. If y'all remember when we was children and rainbow was like Roy G. Biv, then the Lord started talking to me. If you understand, and we've been talking a little bit about energy again, things that the Lord is teaching me. Your chakras align with the colors of the rainbow. That's if you start to understand how deep the Bible really is, you will start to understand how alignment and energy and all the things really work together, right? How the things really work together. Just pointed that out. That might be important for somebody. I actually listened to a Reiki session this morning. I've actually been incorporating that into my mornings. So that may be important for some of you. Maybe you need your chakras balanced or unblocked or something like that. Find you somebody that you want to listen to on YouTube, okay? Or wherever you watch your information. All to do it, let's get to it. The numbers 444 may be important, the number 111. And let's get some clarity out here and see what else. Once you show, I said that today. Okay, Child, can I just tell somebody? When people don't know, but people just be making up. Y'all ever had an experience with somebody they ain't got nothing to say, so they just start making up stuff about you? Anyway, I'm back. We have pleasure that is coming in. Allowing yourself to have pleasure, doing something pleasurable. For some of you, look at the greats. For some of you, there's going to be, and maybe this is something that you have to pray. And this came out, I released the Libra message this morning. Philippians 4 and 6 came out this morning for Libra. And so the Lord was talking to me like in prayer, y'all, things that I asked for is to like, Lord, I want to make sure that I have the time to build my businesses. And so remember, y'all, we've been talking about how we're there. To whom much is given, much is required. So for many of us, you're going to have to, yes, we have to build. Yes, we have to, we on in grind mode and we have multiple things that we're doing, but also make sure that you're taking the time to do some things that you love as well. It can't just be all work all the time. I'm terrible about this, y'all. I will be so focused in on work that I'll forget anything else. So just make sure that you're allowing yourself to have some fun even as you're building, right? That's going to be important, okay? Let's see what else. Here we go. We have the coin toss that is coming in next. This is choices. This is unpredictable. Take a chance. Some of you, man, I understand. I'm tracking, Lord. For some of you, you're getting ready to have to make a decision, right? And how do I say this? Thank y'all. Something that once brought you pleasure, you may be recognizing that it doesn't hold the same, it doesn't feel the same anymore. For many of us, this may be an indicator. Now, take this to the Lord, okay? For many of you, this may be an indicator that the Lord, it's almost like you're shifting you're pivoting. And it's not that, man, how do I say this? You're recognizing that, thank y'all, you're recognizing that something that you once thought was the end all and be all is actually something that will limit you. And so you may still end up doing this, but you're also understanding that this is not the end for you. Does that make sense? That because you know that there's more for you, you're starting to recognize and under, like there may just be this feeling, and the word that the Lord gave me the other day was suffocating, y'all. It's almost like the thing that used to, like, maybe you were just like, yeah, this it, this is it, and all of a sudden it doesn't give you the same pleasure. It doesn't make you feel, it doesn't light you up the way that it once did. For what the way the Lord explained this to me is that because he's calling you to more. He's calling you for greater. He's calling you to expand. So if there is something in your life that is limiting you in some way, the Lord is going to start to, it's almost like he's calling you not out, but he's making you aware because there's growth and expansion that's needed. Let's say it's your job, and you in a job, and the job just feels like you're just starting to feel like, man, there's more. Man, this ain't enough. Man, I like you're starting, it's not even boredom. It's almost just like this. I don't even know what words to use to describe it, but it's just like this feeling like there's more than this. There's more to this 9 to 5. It's how many of us become entrepreneurs, right? Because you realize that your 9 to 5 is just not doing, it just ain't doing it for you. And so now you start to get antsy, you start to feel suffocated. You start to feel like this is not the life I'm supposed to live. This is not all there is. And so you start to have that calling and that yearning to do something else because the Lord is trying to call you to more. I hope that makes sense for somebody. So some of you, you're getting ready. It's like you're going to start feeling that pull where it's just like, there's more to life than this. And that's where the Lord is going to start telling you, like, pay attention, right? Because that's where he's going to show you where you can grow and expand. Maybe you've been doing the job for too long and you need a raise, or you need to do something different. Whatever that is for you, just trust that. Okay, here we go. Now, y'all, let me just tell y'all how this is why, can we just, true story, give God the glory. This is the Four of Wands in the Bible Clarity deck. The card I pulled for myself today, y'all, is the Four of Wands. So this is, of course, speaking to the Ark of the Covenant. This is foundation and celebration. The Ark of the Covenant is a gold-plated wooden chest believed to have held the stone tablets containing the 10 Commandments given to Moses by God on Mount Sinai. Okay, according to biblical accounts, the Ark's location and fate remain unknown. So for many of you, this is why the Lord gave me quick-moving success, because I had the Four of Wands that came in with the Eight of Wands. So for many of you, there's something, and the Lord also said, celebrate your successes and wins, no matter how big or how small. The Lord is getting ready to give you a reason to celebrate, y'all. There is some accomplishment, 1111. There is some accomplishment that is coming in, some instruction that you followed. Your obedience is getting ready to produce fruit, okay? The Lord is getting ready to give you a reason to celebrate. We receive it, Lord. We receive it. This is victory, accomplishment. Some of you, this is like you've been carrying something. And I just read a little bit about the ark as morning. Where was I reading that at, y'all? There was something that I read this morning that was talking about the ark of the covenant and when they were carrying it, or it was something, or did I hear something about how, oh, I was watching it yesterday. There was a video that I ended up watching that was talking about some of you, come on, God, your energy is going to shift atmospheres, and you're going to be able to discern atmospheres. Thank y'all. You're going to be able to discern, like, part of the increase in your discernment. It's almost like, first of all, when you walk in a place, your energy is going to shift the atmosphere, and second of all, you're going to walk into a place and you're going to be able to recognize what entities, what energies are predominant in that space, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to somebody. For some of you, the Lord was talking to me about, have you ever walked in a room or been around people and it just feels heavy? So for some of you, it's like you're going to be able to discern, thank y'all, whether there is glory in that space or whether there is darkness in that space. Like, this is part of the gifting that is coming into alignment for you. So think it not strange that different things are happening to you. We know about the ear ringing, right? We know about, it's like some of you, there's a gift that's coming in. So maybe it's you being able to discern in different atmospheres that you step into, like what is predominant in that space. This is why the importance of making sure that you're keeping your energy clear, right? Because, and this is you keeping your vibration up as well, because you're going to have to be able to differentiate the light from the dark. I hope that makes sense for somebody. What else, Lord? Let's clarity this and see what else. It's almost like there you can, it's like glory feels heavy as well, but it's a different kind of glory, if that makes sense. Like when you walk into a room or you're around people, you can feel whether people weigh you down or whether they lift you up. So for some of you, that's part of your gifting that's getting ready to start manifesting for you, that you're going to have more understanding on. Do your own study. You should always take anything that any prophet says back to the Lord. Don't just take my word for it. Take it back to the Lord and get your own confirmation. Okay, here we go. We have the 10 of Wands that is coming in next. Crazy thing is, I saw this card this morning in the deck over here. This is stress. We're not just talking about heaviness. Thank you, Lord. Overloaded, depleted, weight of the world. Told y'all. So for some of you, it's almost like, come on, give your burdens over. Don't be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. For some of you, I know I didn't finish saying that earlier. For some of you, that's where the Lord was going with pivoting, right? It's almost like you're going to understand, man, and I thank you, Lord, I'm tracking. You're going to understand that working more is not the sacrifice that's needed to gain more. I hope that makes sense. Like, maybe okay, let me just use this as an example. Maybe all you do is work, and I've talked about this before, but working so much is taking away from your creativity. But the Lord is getting ready to show you that the creativity is more important. It doesn't mean that you're going to stop working, because you're not. But there's going to have to be something, you're going to have to put something down in order to really build yourself up. I hope that makes sense to somebody. And this is why you have to make sure that you're giving yourself time to do what it is that you love. Work is important, but when you understand true wealth and abundance, we know that it's not going to come typically from your 9 to 5, right? It's going to come from what you create. It's going to come from what you build. And so for some of you, it's like you're going to, and maybe you're in the process of making that shift where you're starting to understand, like, work is not giving me the pleasure that it gave me before. So what do I need to do different? I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Lord. I receive it. Something I prayed just this morning, y'all. When you ask the Lord for an answer, he gonna give it to you one way or another. It's simply about you paying attention to when you receive the answers. And then, of course, if you receive any confirmation here, please take it back to the Lord for clarity. Okay. Not baby come back. Kicked out reunions, longing for home is the next card to come back. So the first things first. Let me just say this, y'all. This doesn't even feel like a person. This feels like there's a longing for something. If there's something in your life within yourself, it almost feels like a void. I don't know how else to explain it. It feels like because maybe you've been overworking yourself, stressing yourself out, trying to figure it out yourself. Thank y'all. This is getting back to surrender. This is getting back to, well, wait a minute. Every time I try to do it myself, it don't work out the way that I wanted to work out. So let me get back to allowing the Lord to lead, guide, and direct me and give me the answers. And then that's going to take some of the stress off of you for what you're trying to do yourself. Give it over to God and let God do it, right? That's what I got on this baby come back. This ain't even about, it's like getting back to God, right? And allowing God, like, okay, wait a minute. When I wasn't trying to carry all this weight, when I wasn't trying to do all of this, I felt better. It was more joy. It was more peace. So we have to get back to that. Where have you been taking on burdens and responsibilities that are not yours to take on, right? I hope that makes sense. What else, Lord? Let's see what else. Here we go. Woo, come on, tapped in. We have the sun card that's coming in. Divinely guided spirit messages, activations, divination, and magic. And we have Aquarius energy coming in as well. This is speaking to intelligence. Oh, which part can I talk about that? Let me just say, for some of you, you getting ready to start creating opportunities for yourself. So yesterday, y'all, and the Lord is going to start, man, somebody needs to understand that the Lord is getting ready to start letting you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are moving in alignment. So yesterday, I had to mail off a couple of orders. Thank y'all for those of you who've been to my website, ToShaeGermaine.com, and ordered your products, okay, your Spirit and Glam. So yesterday, I had to end up going to the post office, right? And let me just tell y'all that, again, we talk a lot about how you're speaking to yourself, how you see yourself. So if y'all were on the message yesterday morning, I told y'all that the way I talk to myself, I'll be like, hey man, I built a multi-billion-dollar makeup brand in my car. A multi-billion-dollar makeup brand. Said this yesterday, right? On the message. You can go back and watch it. It was yesterday's message. So yesterday I have to go to the post office and mail off a couple of orders. And so as I'm at the post office, first things first, the girl says, the woman at the register was like, what you sell? And I was like, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit. I was like, oh, makeup. And so she was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't say anything else. And I was like, so then I started just, small talk. I was like, you can tell by the box, huh? She was like, yeah, it's very colorful. I said, yeah, promoting myself, right? And of course I have my makeup on. And I was like, yeah, I live my life in color. And she was like, okay. She was like, you have any samples? Me, absolutely. Now, mind you, I left my bag in the car, so I run outside and I go get the bag. I go get my sample that I had in my bag. And I just so happened to put those samples in my bag yesterday, y'all. Normally, I don't take them anywhere with me. So I go in and I show her the samples that I have. And she was just like, oh my goodness. And so she's looking through them and looking through the colors. And I'm just kind of sitting there watching her. And so she says, girl, shout out Rihanna. She was like, these are such high quality. She was like, are you finna be up there with Rihanna? And me, clock it. I say, girls, speak it into existence and prophesy over my life. Y'all, can I just tell y'all that the Lord will use, we talked about the messengers, right? Don't nobody else have to believe in there's not a single person who should believe in your vision, your dreams, your hopes more than you. Do you understand? But when she said that, and I was like, dang, man, I was like, whether it sound crazy to other people or not, in my head, that's just how big Spirit and Glam is. In my head, in my spirit, in my soul, that's just how big ToShae Germaine is. Do you understand? So as I got in the car, I told the Lord, I was like, hey, Ma, I love you. I was like, man, that's the type of time that I'm on. The Lord will use somebody, and I do not believe in coincidence, y'all. Lord, this random postal worker says this to me. I say, baby, let me get in the lab. Where am I? Let me show y'all. Hold on. Can I say, got home yesterday and got in the lab? Y'all, when I tell y'all that it put